That's a good one. Chris Johnston, you are an FLW Tour champion. You did it here at the Harris Chain, and I mean, you've had a night to sit on it, so how's it feel?
It's still pretty overwhelming. I don't think it's completely sunk in yet, but I'm still in a bit of shock, but I'm also amazed with the amount of support I've had from friends and people back in Canada that followed along, and I think I had like 300 messages and a lot of the numbers I didn't even have. So it's pretty cool to see how many people were following along with myself and Gussie finishing 1 and 2.
Your champion is Chris Johnston. Wow! Well, obviously, you know, if people watched FLW Live, they got an idea how you caught your fish. We're gonna tear it apart. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna try to catch a bass.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we're gonna go out there, play around we got about 2.5 hours, try and catch some bass, but I'm a little worried. My morning spot, we're gonna miss that bite. So that was my guaranteed quick limit, but we'll go out there and try, and then we'll go throw some chatterbaits around some deep hydrilla and see if we can get 1 or 2 big ones.
I like it, man. Let's splash the Ranger and get after it.
Let's get after it. So what we're doing right now is we're just working up to this little horseshoe in the weeds, and it's hydrilla up in front of us. We got hydrilla on the right, and it just comes to a horseshoe. And we're sitting in 12 feet of water right now. There's no grass, and we're just working our way up to the edge. And what we'll do is we'll get up here and we'll actually spot lock, and then we'll just kind of fan cast in this horseshoe.
Oh, okay.
And this was the honey hole for me on days 2, 3, and 4. It was a really good morning bite, but every day I was getting less fish. So we're here at 9 o'clock. They quit biting yesterday at 7:30. So we're pushing it, but we'll see if there's a few left.
I feel like we got enough skill to handle this situation.
All right, I brought a ringer with me today.
Yeah. I don't know, it's a hefty word.
I started out on this spot, actually, I started in the morning, I was throwing like a speed worm, something slow. And then I'm looking on my electronics, and you could see all the fish coming off the bottom, suspended like 5 feet up. So I picked up a jerkbait, and I think in 3 casts, I had a 5.5. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'm onto something here. And from that point on, I probably caught about 50 fish in 2 hours.
Dang.
On the jerkbait. And a lot of them were 10 to 15 inches, but then you get the odd good one mixed in. So, and I figured out there was a sweet spot that I literally didn't move for an hour and a half. I just spot locked, and I kept throwing the jerkbait in the same spot, and they just kept eating it, so I kept throwing it. Then it died down, so I thought there's still probably some fish there, but they're sick of seeing this jerkbait. So I picked up the trap, fired it out into the little pocket, let it sink to bottom, yo-yoed it 2 or 3 times, and one smoked it. I think it was a 3-pounder. And then next cast, I had another one hit it, I lost it, it felt like a big one. And then my 3rd cast, I got an 8.6. So that was, oh, got a little bite. What we got here? So I was getting a little.
There it is. Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
They're getting smaller here.
Do you want to hold it?
Ooh, can I put them close to the camera and make them look like a 3-pounder?
Yeah, that's what the champ does.
Yeah. But it did seem like the better bites, you get some good ones on the jerkbait, but the big ones were on the bottom, and they eat the trap a little better. But you didn't get as many bites on that. It seemed like as soon as you threw it in for 5 or 10 casts, like when they first see it, they were on it. And then once they've seen it a few times, then it just shut down. And you go back to the jerkbait and catch a few.
When I was watching you fish, you'd see you cast out, shake your arms off a little bit.
Yeah, this wrist is sore. Yeah, no one will feel bad for me, so I try not to complain, but yeah, the old wrist is tender. Unfortunately, by now when I got here, I'd probably had, it's been 5-10 minutes, I'd probably had 5 fish by now when they're here. It was pretty fast and furious. So it was really nice because it took the pressure off early of just getting a limit out of the way. You
Well,
never know what can happen on this lake.
You're a pretty stout sight fisherman yourself. Both you and your brother, pretty good at catching them when you can see them.
I would much rather be catching them, looking at them, than out on the grass edge. But I do like fishing grass. But I'm more of a flipper and throwing a chatterbait and swim jig, that sort of thing. So we're coming up on the little sweet spot.
Is it like a void in the grass or
No.
something? That's kind of where they like to hang out.
They hang out there. And the only reason I found it, going along just like you and I are doing, got a bite, actually missed one, felt pretty decent. And I put my power poles down because the hydraulic so thick it held me. And I just kept casting in the area and probably caught, I don't know, 8 or 9. And it's just, there's nothing different. And they didn't bust or anything, they just live there.
Sometimes, a little bit of randomness isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, I missed 1 or 2, so there should be a couple left.
Undo this.
Huh. Cast out there, something's toying with me.
What's going on?
Got him.
Yeah, buddy.
There might be a couple in there. Not a bad one.
Look at you calling your shot. We're just gonna get up here to the sweet spot, it
Yeah,
says.
literally just got to the waypoint, and there's really nothing different about this area, but I think there's a couple in there. We should be able to get a couple more.
I think, well, that's what I'm trying to stall, right? Like I'm trying to
get a double header.
Yeah.
You're not pulling your weight.
I am not,
I think
man.
this thing whacked it like twice.
We caught one.
Actually, that's the second one if you really want to start counting. Do we count 4 inches?
When your jerkbait is bigger than the fish that's on it, I don't think it counts.
Well, a funny story about that. On day 2, I was throwing my jerkbait. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You better start catching them.
I'm fixing to get.
You might be buying lunch. So, what I was saying is, I was throwing my jerkbait, first 3 casts, something hits or able to blow, I set the hook, I'm like, oh, it's little. And then all of a sudden, it got really heavy. And I fought the fish, netted it, and it was about a 6-pounder. And what had actually happened, a 4-incher hit my jerkbait originally, and then the 6-pounder ate the 4-incher and my whole jerkbait. So I had them both in the net. That one actually didn't hit it good. One of those ones, it was just, you go to the, it was just there. Had a couple of those.
Because I noticed.
Like that. Yep. That one didn't thump it, did it?
Get out of that stuff.
I think you're getting all the big ones.
I don't even think he's that big. I think he's just in a lot of. Oh,
that's why you need the 4-power NRX.
He's in there.
The one just
he's
whacked.
Like really in there.
Like we might have to get the trolling motor on.
I don't know if I'm. I don't want to go wrenching on this high-end setup. You know what I mean?
Like you're on your own. Like what would a co-angler? There we go. Oh, that's why, because he's a big one.
Well, yeah.
You only catch big ones.
I do.
You're on your own today. That's the biggest one of the day. Here, you want me to grab them?
I'll get them. I'll come back here and grab them.
Where were these yesterday?
I stunned him, is what I did. Now, that is probably, I think, how they're supposed to eat it. I mean,
something like that.
The thing is gone.
Yeah, he ate it.
Got a little bit of salad with it.
I'm glad you weren't fishing out of the back of the boat with me. Take my chatterbait.
That is a good
back.
one.
That's a good one.
Heck yeah.
4-pounder?
I'd say.
Yeah.
But like you said, fat.
It's fun when you're catching them. It's easy.
Isn't it? It sucked for a while.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's like in the tournament. It's so frustrating when you're not catching them, but all of a sudden you get 2 bites and it just turns your day around, makes you a little happier. There he is. Oh, getting smaller, but.
Uh-oh.
He still hit it like a big one.
You weren't kidding. They are mad at it.
They thump it. Like these fish are fat. They're chasing shad. They're well fed. And again, it's one of those things, if you steady reel it, you might get one, but if you do this little yo-yo, then every one of them hits it on the fall.
Because I saw Gussie was doing this too.
Yeah, and
he was moving around, and I was like, oh,
it's kind of funny. First day of practice, it was really foggy, and you didn't really want to go far. And I ran into Gussie and his dad probably about 10 o'clock. And a guy had just caught a 7-pounder right beside me on a horny toad or something, a big easy. And then Gussie and I, we're all talking, and his dad is doing this out of the back of the boat. And kind of thinking to myself, like, what's Jim doing in the back of the boat there? And then all of a sudden he catches a 3-pounder. So all of a sudden, for Gussie especially, the light went on, like, huh, maybe old Jimbo's on to something here. And he expanded it. And he's the one that, after day 2, I had that really good day on the the jerk bait and trap. He kind of said, like, hey, you might want to just try a chatterbait doing that thing. And it worked both ways. I said, Gussie, just try the jerk bait on some of your spots, because he had a lot more areas than me.
Right.
And he had it dialed in really well, and I wanted to help him out as much as he was going to help me, right? And it works both ways, and I wanted to see him do well. And it turned out that I used that chatterbait on day 4.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
There's still a
It's
couple
a spunky
left.
one.
He's black.
He's been living in there for a while.
And he's stuck in the hydro. Could you imagine an 8-pounder?
Dude, no. Now I'm kind of afraid.
Yeah. On the old X-Bride rod.
Oh, dude. Choked it.
Yeah, look at that.
Look how fat he is.
That's a healthy fish. I thought he was smaller than that, but he's fat.
Yeah.
But look at that. They're eating it.
And that's money.
That is the juice for this week. Make sure you got the right gear for this stuff. Show you the bait, a 3/8 chatterbait with a Jackal Rhythm Wave 4.8 swim bait. And I kind of started dabbling in the Shimano X-Bride, and it's an awesome setup, and it's got tons of power to get them out of this grass. And this is a 7.2 medium heavy with a Corrado 200. We both got 20-pound fluorocarbon on, so you can get them out of this stuff. You want to set the hook pretty well as hard as you can. You don't want to be underpowered, because you get a big one on, there's no way you're getting them in this hydrilla if you don't have the right stick. Oh, there he is. A little better one?
I think so.
Oh, might
but
be
like you said, he's getting me down.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Getting me down in the grass.
It's thick, isn't it?
Gosh,
that's a nice one.
man.
I could have used that one yesterday. Want me to grab him for you?
Yeah,
You
sure.
flip him.
Help a player out.
All right, he took big fish honors. Nice one.
I mean, I'll give you the assist on that.
I think I missed him.
Yeah.
I located him for you.
I think that right there, not a bad way to end things. I really appreciate you showing us how you broke down this tournament. And I knew when you started fishing the tour, it probably wasn't going to take all too long to see you holding up that big check and that trophy, but heck of a week, man. Yeah. I'd say congratulations again.
All right.
Awesome time. Thanks for coming back out, dude.
I really appreciate it. I had a blast down here, and I'm glad everyone could follow along with me. And yeah, you couldn't ask for a better start to the season.